Times, Melbourne, Victoria. We're about to go live over to Scotland to talk to John Smith, a representative of the people, which the Common Law Court is well and truly established in the UK for the last 3 years, and is now going to operate as from this week on here in Australia by a very small number of people initially 6 people in total. 3 up in New South Wales and 3 here in Victoria will be setting up the first common law courts with the aid and assistance from John, which we're now going to go across to, and we'll have some lessons, and then we'll have a quick chat with John, and we'll carry on from there. This common law court will be open to everybody in every state. Initially, we must start off with baby steps with 1 court, perhaps here in Victoria, and 1 court in New South Wales. Everybody else will have access to the court when it's off the ground. Up until now, it's been a talk fest, and it's gone sour in a lot of cases, but there's only 1 international common law court that's liaison with the UK, and that this is going to be it. He's also linked up with New Zealand. So New Zealand obviously have got branched now to the International Common Court, as we do here in Melbourne and Sydney. Anyway, have a look at some of the abstracts from that interview tonight with John, and perhaps a little bit of information at the same time. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy our international communication with the UK. Bye for now.
But obviously, if there's any questions, I can probably take 1 or 2 questions just now, and then go on to the common law court procedure.
A hand up. Yeah, just a simple set of procedures would be fabulous. You know, point for point, how we actually do this. I mean, we've all got hundreds of questions, but just really, really simple, easy bullet points. That'd be great.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll make it as easy as possible. It is very simple. If you just follow the basics, you can't go wrong. That's the way it was set up. Obviously, it's so simple and anyone can do it. But we'll go through the procedure in a minute and see. Any other questions?
Why not?
It was all magic, eh?
You know, so we just want to know, how did you set it up? How do we set it up? How do we get it going? No,
we have the 12 steps.
So, and that's coming for me. Okay.
Literally, what happened is just to go back, and we'll keep it simple. When I'd looked at the failings in the existing system, I realised because of the structure, you couldn't actually get a justice or a lawful remedy within the system, because it didn't matter, even if you highlighted a failure in the rules or procedures, they just overruled you anyway, and they ignore their own rules. So it doesn't matter what you'll get, because the judges will always overrule you, and it's for the benefit of their system. So you can't have justice. But then if you look at what they actually do, you see they run corporations. That's actually not courts. They're run for profit. It's nothing to do with justice. So when it actually came away and gave up, I thought, well, you can't do this. It just doesn't work. I sat down and thought, well, hold on a minute. How did it work previously before all this crap came in? So we went back further in history to look at how courts were convened and how they were set up. And the furthest I go back to was the Greeks. But obviously from there, the Greeks, you take on and through the development in England and the common law court and that, we found out that there seemed to be a set structure in place, roughly, providing you followed basic rules, you could convene your own court. So we actually found out if this could be done. And then when we looked at various other things, there are different versions throughout the world. The Muslims have Sharia courts and things like that. So there are, within communities, there are courts, and they have been accepted by governments. And then when I looked into the things like the United Nations, they actually stated that you do not have to be part of their system. And if you wish to set up something yourself with like-minded people, you can do that as well. I thought, well, if that's the case, you can set up your own court. Why not? So we then sat down and looked at the procedures for convening a court. For example, if you convene a court, how would you do it? Well, the basics are we don't deal with fictions, so it would have to be a living man and a living woman. So we take these basic principles out. Now, I spoke to Kevin Annett because he had convened his own court before, and I spent quite a bit of time with him, and we asked him various things. But Kevin deals with huge issues in relation to governments and genocide and things like that, which is okay. He says, but if someone's trying to issue a fine against you for speeding or parking, or someone's trying to take your house off you or your child off you, or obviously they're issuing unlawful taxes, there's no remedy for this. There's nowhere to do it. So we took his idea and part of his structure, and we've taken that and sort of formalised something for the Common Law Court. We simplified it. So we have a sort of diluted version which is easy for everyone to follow. So you can get the basic ideas behind it and everyone will understand that. And then we put together certain rules, and we've agreed with the people here, providing the rules are complied with, that would then give us a lawful court and a lawful decision. So that seemed to be the case. So when everything was sort of prepared and set up, I decided to convene a court. So we convened a court, the first one for myself, and when we'd done that, we'll run through the procedure. It worked well. It worked really well. And of course, since then, people in England, Wales and Ireland, they all wanted to use it as well. So we had to change it slightly. And then as soon as we'd done that, people from Australia and Canada, America, New Zealand, everyone else wanted to do it as well. So we've just basically developed it from there. But because of the things we do, and because it is for men and women, this is applicable everywhere. We don't get hung up on words like legalese and all the rest of it. But basically, if we follow the basic principles for the Common Law Court, it's applicable under any other name, regardless of where you come from, race, colour, religion. It doesn't matter, because it follows the basic principles: cause no harm, loss or injury, and ensure you're honourable with your contracts. Now, if that's the case, it can be therefore known as common law. This is law of the land, natural law, universal law, the Creator's law, or God's law. They're all exactly the same, which means you now encompass just about everyone on the planet. So we've set up this with a simple procedure, and there is a bit to it, but providing you do everything you're supposed to do, it will work. There's a couple of people attempted it before, and they've actually made a mess of it because they actually tried to rush it and they don't pay attention to the details. One of the things is they had a hearing and they didn't actually record the hearing. Now, we don't have shorthand writers, and to be quite honest, if someone was to take shorthand for meeting, it's no use because nobody would understand it. So it has to be eligible for everyone. So we thought the easiest way to do it is just record it. So take an audio recording. So we keep an audio recording of the hearing, which is fine. We do that, and then we've got the paperwork signed off on that. So what they do is somebody hadn't taken an audio hearing, which voids the whole procedure because there's no accurate record. And not only that, they didn't actually get the people to sign all the relevant documents. They got them to sign one document. This is confirming that they voted and they gave a decision, but they never signed anything else. They have to be sworn in. They have to acknowledge that they've been sworn in. They've got to sign a paperwork, obviously saying that they've given their oath, that obviously they've seen the paperwork. The court officers sign all the relevant paperwork, and they sign the court decision as well. So there's 8 or 9 documents to sign. Providing they're all dealt with, it will give you a lawful verdict, which is fine. And because we set this up, the people seem to agree with us, and because we've accepted it, we've got a normal procedure now for convening these courts, which is quite good because we can actually turn around and say that if you don't follow the procedure, it's not lawful. It's not accepted by the people, and it works that way. And obviously it gives us a bit of recognition, because what we do is the courts that we convene are 10 times better than the statutory courts. They run actually a lot better, they're far superior, and they deal with juries of people, their peers. So providing we run through the procedure and everything's followed and it's stamped off and signed and recorded, it actually gives us a far superior document or verdict against either the plaintiff or the defendant, which is great. And as I says, everyone seems to be happy, and it hasn't been challenged yet. Nobody can challenge what we've done, and the paperwork we've issued is great. It stands up everywhere. I've actually got letters just went out yesterday, and I'm putting out today for your Prime Minister in Australia and the First Ministers and the heads of state. That's actually going up today, but I got the British ones done yesterday. So the letters went out to the heads of state, and I've got New Zealand and Canada and America as well. but the British ones went out yesterday. So that's a final 7-day warning to get them to accept the declaration for the Common Law Court. If not, we can just ignore what they do after that, because they've been given the 2 letters. They've refused to comply with it. And if that's the case, we're not now bound by their legislation. We can do what we want. So that's going out today as well. And coming back to the Common Law Court and the paperwork, this is why it's done. Because when we do the paperwork correctly, no one can ever challenge it. So they have a problem with it, and that's why it works, and that's why the system stands up. And it's never anyone that challenges what we've done will always lose the argument. We had a case during the week in the UK. It was let's say this. It was an awkward case that involved a child. We've actually helped this female before, and she's used the process for a child. We just found out that there was a question mark over this female, and the authorities got involved. Now, the easy way around this, when she panicked and says, look, they're taking the children, there may have been some concern that the children will not be protected, and there was doubts about it. And we first of all said, right, if we deal with this, we'll have to deal with it correctly. What we need to do is convene a court. And she panicked. And I said, look, the easy way to deal with it is you put this issue before a jury of your peers with all the evidence, including the opposition. They can put forward their case. And once you put forward your case regarding the issue, the jury will then deliberate and issue a lawful verdict. Now, we said this, the girl just panicked and refused to do it. So there's something funny there. We found out that she's now part of a prosecution. There's a large number of people who've been abusing children. It's just come out. Now, that actually shows you how good the Common Law Court is, because it doesn't matter who it is, it cannot be used to cover up anything. If someone tries to abuse the system, it says they'll be caught out immediately, because they cannot use it for protection. If there's any query regarding anyone, you put them in front of a jury. We work that way. Now, as soon as this came out and there was a question mark raised, we insisted that she had to take it to a jury, and she wouldn't do that. So straight away, there's a problem there. And as I said, because the authorities got involved, there is something a little bit more to it. We can't get to the bottom of it, but it's very, very dodgy. But this is why the Common Law Court works, even with not convening a hearing. We can actually say to people, look, this is how to do it. Now, the people will catch them out, because if there's something wrong, they shouldn't have a problem going to Common Law Court to get a verdict to assist them. If they actually refuse to go to a Common Law Court to ask the people for assistance, why? There must be something wrong with it. So it acts as a deterrent as well. So if there is a problem, or they're not telling you the truth, or they're hiding something, the Common Law Court's a great way to get it out, because they won't go in front of them, because they're facing a jury of their peers. So that's happened this week. But it does work well with these things. But as I said, when you're convening courts, you have to get into a set system. You have to obviously run it a certain way and follow the rules. I'll give you simple bullet points. I can go through things today just to explain roughly how we do it. And when we do that, I can give you this A to B. You'll go through everything. We'll have copies of the paperwork, which you should have anyway, and it's just a matter of amending the documents to suit yourself. But you've got the complete package here. The other things which you may have a problem with is on the day in question, because things may come up at the hearing, and when it comes up, someone will ask a question you're maybe not sure of. So you obviously play it by ear, but I can give you a lot of information. We know the sort of things they're asking, and when we go through this stuff, the training stuff, you will be in the position, you'll say, yes, okay, we understand, but what about this? And you can ask questions. So we'll actually try to give you as much as possible beforehand to prepare it. There is a backup as well, as should you need an emergency, is if you did convene a Common Law Court, as a backup or something, you could actually have access to a phone number. If you need to phone someone for help, you can do that. But I think what we'll do is, when you have the Common Law Court, there's certain things you need to do. If the most important person, individual, man or woman, is at the Common Law Court, is the adjudicator. The adjudicator will probably know more than anyone else about what's going on, and they're responsible for making sure that everything's done correctly. Now, they don't actually take part in the hearing. They're basically there to give some guidance at the commencement of the hearing, some instruction, And then what they will then do is give directions or answer questions, and they'll just make sure that everything's done correctly. Providing that's the case, it'll be okay. But they're the ones that's responsible for that. So while anyone can do this position, when you have a hearing beforehand, you would go through an introduction to the hearing, explain how it works. It may be beneficial, I'm not sure actually, it might actually be beneficial to create a video. Because what we can do is, if we do an introductory video for about 15 minutes, we can actually explain to the people at the venue what's going to happen. And we'll explain to them that you're going to convene a common law court, and we will go through all the rules, it says in this video. So we can do that by way of an introduction. And then when you switch it off, it says you would then get your adjudicator to take over, and then you would appoint all the officers and that. So I could probably put together a video there, which will be used as an introduction, and that would take care of that issue for you. And then it's just a matter of, once this video is on, you appoint the officers and then proceed. Okay?
So, okay, she's putting this case together. Next week, she's going to go to court, send them the paperwork. Where do we go? Step one, obviously, is to get the evidence to you. You then send back the paperwork. You go, carry on.
Right. What I'll do just now, there's documents here. If it's probably better if you allow me to share the screen. And what I could do is go through some of the documents, just flick through them quickly. What I will do just now is when you're convening a court, the first thing you have to do is obviously send out the relevant paperwork. Yeah, great, thank you.
Oh, after all that,
that's a hell of a long one. I could have broke up into two, but when you're speaking about this just now, I can send through the documents to you. There's a lot to go through. It's a bit realistically, it is actually really simple, believe it or not. It's just a matter of, there's 2 or 3 things that you have to do. So you issue the 3 papers, obviously the court information, the court summons, and the statement of claim. So that gets sent out, and that's it. All you do is you publish your notice, and you can your right to convene a court, which can be done in the common law court, and then that's it. You appear on the day, and when you appear on the day, you'll have a video to introduce the concept to the people there, and then you'll appoint an adjudicator, and then you'll set up. So you then basically swear in the people, have a 15-20 minute break, get the people to sign in all the relevant paperwork, and then you take in the public gallery, get them all back in, and then when you do that, you then commence with the hearing.
Good evening from London News in Melbourne. I'm going back a few hours back to Scotland in the morning, and we'd like to thank John for spending the last hour and a half explaining how the common law court works and how he's going to help us here in Australia. John, over to you, and thank you very much for all that information, and I hope that we can set a good example for the rest of the world, which is on your behalf. All right.
Hello, welcome to everyone. It's nice to meet you. It's lunchtime here in Scotland. Hopefully the weather's fine with yourselves. We had a very interesting meeting just now, and I'm grateful for everyone that's attended the meeting because it shows that obviously the willingness to proceed with the common law courts in Australia. The work that's been done is excellent just now, and we've went through the procedure for setting up and convening these courts. So you have many people here who are more than capable of setting up these courts, and it's something that I think the public will take to in the coming months because it will provide you with a lawful remedy, whereby within the statutory system just now, you do not have a justice system, you do not have the option to obtain a lawful remedy. But by doing so with the people and standing together, you are able to do this. So I think just now, with the information we went through just now, and with some additional help in the coming weeks, it'll be very soon that you'll be able to set up and convene your own courts shortly. I'm looking forward personally to seeing some of the cases that will be appearing in these courts, and to see how you get on with it. Look forward to working together. We have many people in other countries as well, but I think everyone's standing together and using it. There is change coming just now, and we look forward to that. Okay.
We forgot to mention that we are international right now. We've got Dominic in Worcestershire in England, who's been very lovely.
Hi, John.
Yours is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like to say thanks for the time out you gave me, a little chat we had a few weeks ago. It was very good of you. I do appreciate it, being a busy man. So thank you.
Okay.
You just simply send me a photo. I will put in the name, the given names. Your surname, which you will see is in brackets, like John Michael Doe in brackets. So I need your surname, your correct address, which is necessary for an ID, obviously. And then I will send this out to you by registered post. And the barcode obviously is here. It will be recorded on all your documents from then on. On the back of the ID, you will have this. I will print your name here in the correct, like John Michael. The surname is no longer there required. And this is all lawful under the Immigration Act. A copy will be sent to you, obviously, first for your approval. Make sure there's no errors. This is not a business.